Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and then welcome back to Brand on my channel today. Can speak today. Today I decided to do a small tutorial on when we are doing the A320 on the A320 families. Wow, right now my computer seems to be freaking out right now. We have a bit of problem. Now let's go over the A320 does have a sim brief integration system. So this is my username. You have to enter your username over here and click on apply and exit. Now let's go back to our SimBrief page. Let's go back to our SimBrief page. Alright, now over here, something like this. Now over here, okay. This is how the flight plan is set up. Fine, I'm not flying from here, so let's quickly do that real quick. That is not a flight. That's gonna be the longest flight I've ever seen in my life. What's it gonna say? Abort. Then go to PHKO. An hour and 15 minutes. Let's go down here. Select A320 200 because that's the aircraft we're doing today. Go to Easy 5665. That's my call sign, airline, and my flight number. Let's go ahead and come over up here. Check everything. Now you want to set it to pounds. If you have it in kilograms, I don't really think that's a good idea. So set this to pounds. Then in the Flightgear, you go over to aircraft config and turn this off. Now let's head over here. And this one is not really necessary, but I'll just do it like this. Alright, now comes to this one. This is quite important, so you gotta enter it. I'm gonna be a 6. This one I'll be carrying a total of 6. Now how I'm doing is, you see on the keyboard, once you selected passengers, click on it, then type the numbers. Make sure you don't type it and delay, just type it real quick. So if I want 1 2 3, just type 1 2 and 3 and automatically select it. But we want 1 0 6. Then we come here. This one doesn't have the correct one, so we go all the way to the bottom, which I should not stress myself. 3 dots. Alright, so we're done with this. I'm gonna come down here, make sure our route looks okay to us. Now I might do some changes over here on our final approach. Alright, now everything is set. We go ahead and go to generate flight plan over here. Click on yes. Then just wait for it a bit. Alright, and this is our flight plan. Do not click on this. Don't do anything, just come down here. And this is our flight level. You can choose to not abide by this. I'm not gonna abide by this. I'm going to flight level 150. Our fuel, we already have that much in it. Let's go back into Flightgear. Then let's go up here, then go here, then go to aircraft config, or you can come over here then to ground services. We're going to do here ground services. Then we go click this to enable them. This is not really necessary, but this is the necessary one. Close this and close this one as well. But before I close it, let's go ahead and open the fly-by-wire settings and set it to normal. Then we click on 3. Oh, we have a bit of difficulties. Be right back. Alright, we're back. I've managed to fix the problem. Alright, now as I said, you can, when the keyboard is off, let's go ahead and show you guys. When this is off, you can use your keys to switch the mouse views. So pressing 3 will send you to overhead panel. Then this button, press it, lights up the airplane, batteries come on. Then you come over and align these. Now if you want them to not to in a realistic mode, come up to aircraft config, and this is it. If you set it should align instantly, it will align itself instantly without having you to wait a couple of minutes, which will be displayed right here. Now back to the top, we have everything open. Let's go ahead and increase this a bit. Now when I go to, now you go in here, make sure you set this one to high. Then set this, this is personal preference, but as for this one, I recommend you set to high. Then you come over here, then make sure the fuel we have is at this level, past what we actually need, but it's okay since we might actually leave some, it's fine. Then you come over here and set it. I will set it so that the back of the aircraft is much heavier than the front for easier landings and not floating. Set it real quick. These when add up should give you 106 with the 10,600 in total, and this is the 6.0. Alright, now we are done with that. You come over here, just down here, you come over down here to the master switch for the APU, click on it, then click on this. Professionally, you just have to turn this one on to signify everybody's seated and ready to go. Now like I said, the ADRS is already it's been set for it to align instantly, so it should align by itself and not have you wait minutes like down here. If you had set that setting to off, it should tell you align ADRS in, let's say, 7 minutes. Now going back to where we were, we're going to wait for the APU to start up. Whilst that's happening, let's come over here by pressing 4. Come over here to FMGC. You can click on it, but it doesn't mistake. You click on it, it goes here. Then you press on pref. Now on this page, I like to set it first so that it doesn't get out of hand. Now you don't have to enter these numbers. These numbers are what I enter. Now this is how you get these. First you have to have a number. If it's 130, the difference between 130 and 140 is 145 is 15. So every time you enter one at the top, you have to add it plus 15 to get this one, then this one plus 15 to get this one. Now we come over here, press 1/up. This one is not really needed, but basically if you taking this one, this is your toga. This one is going to be your flex temp, which is over here. Now let's come over here to init ref. Now like I said before, if you go back, this is our sim brief. Before we open it, this is the briefing. Make sure the briefing is open. Make sure you have internet connection. Then come all the way back to, then click on this button, init requests. Click on it, then give it some few minutes. Then there we go. It pops everything in for you. But this the co-root, the company root, isn't what we are gonna use today, because I don't think this functions. You can actually enter your alternative route over here, which is Honolulu International, and this is my call sign that I said before. Now because we have the ADRS on a line at the top, because we have them at our line, we come back down here and click on this. It should say align on ref. If the ADRS is not turned on to nav, then if you click here, it shouldn't turn to confirm align. So once it's already on, when the ADSR knobs are turned to nav, you click on here to align. Although it's already aligned over here, like I said, to give you some minutes here for it to align when the ADRS knobs were turned on. Now you see it's giving us this. I said we're not gonna fly that, so go 150 slash. Now come over here, go to environment, now go to weather. If you can't understand this, so we're gonna meta description. I'll scroll down and get to 19. Now close this and close this, then type 19. Then you click here, and it should do that. Cost index is 6, like I said before in the video. This is a random number that is generated by SimBrief. I'm not sure what this is, but it's generated by SimBrief. Now we come to a flight plan page. Just like I said before, the flight plan is automatically loaded inside. And if you want to check how your flight plan is going to look like, you click over here, then go to plan, and then you just click on here. But make sure this has been set to flight plan page and not airport, because airport seems to pull up the same page but will not go through your flight plan. Now go to flight plan and click up. Up will start taking you through all the waypoints, and this waypoint seems to have been duplicated, so click on clear and clear this one, and go to ask you to insert, but click on clear again and move the flight discontinuous, then click on insert, and that should have done it. Now keep on going, and looks like our flight plan is good. You can keep on going, it will automatically reset you to the top. Now close this since our flight plan is already done. Alright, now I'm just going to do this, turn these ones on. Now because after we've done this, let's come over here and turn the APU bleed on. Then turn the emergency exit lights to arm. Then turn these ones on. Now there is, for your realism, there's an announcements page over here, but we're not going to use that because you're going through a tutorial. It's a very full flight tutorial. Alright, so then before we begin, let's go ahead and turn these ones on, going up and to the right, and back down, then click on these ones. Alright, so it seems you're ready for pushback. To be more exact, push and start. Alright, so before you push and start, let's go ahead and make sure we have the METAR, which is, now in order to change this, click on just below here, click on this, it should change to this, and it's saying 2997, so we're gonna turn it knob to 2997. Alright, and close this. Now I don't really use this manage mode. I don't really use this, so I click on this to set to manage mode, so to follow the airspeed restrictions, and then click on this to enable the LNAV for it to follow the flight plan. Now the flight plan must not be open. The flight plan page must not be open in order for the autopilots to follow it. It will automatically follow the flight plan that you have filed. So let's go ahead and send it back to the nav. So we're going to be via SimBrief, we're going to be taking off runway 26 left. Okay, now let's click close this. Now it's much important that you have your APU master switch and APU start switch on for the APU to be started. Make sure it's on avail. Then when done, you should turn on the APU bleed 3 seconds after it says avail. Now it will show you the APU start when you when you press on the master switch, APU master switch. You come over down here. It will show the APU and it will say show flap open. When that shows, press on the APU start. Now that we are ready for pushback, let's go ahead and make sure we are in pushback. Ready for pushback. Let's go to checklist. So beacon light comes on. light comes on, set this to start mode. Then let's go ahead and call in our pushback. And then since you're going to runway 26 right, which is over this way, you're going to push back over facing this way. So let's go. Now you can do this anyhow you would like, but I'm just doing this in any way. And then click on connect. It should show a message that pushback is connected. Please release parking brakes. So please release brakes, not parking brake. Alright, so you come down here on your joystick key bindings. You can press a button down, disable this. So you click on off, then you click on start pushback. The plane should move. Oh, well, we forgot to turn off the external power. Sorry about that. But please make sure you turn that off before starting the pushback. Then disable the external power in the menu. That was not a good idea. Alright, so as you're pushing back, we go ahead. When the APU bleed is on, press on 5, take you down here, then press on the master switch, the engine 2 master switch, turn it on, press 6, take you over here, and this will start. Now if you come over down here, the page will automatically switch over to the engine page because we turned the knob to the start position. Now wait for the engine to start spooling up. Alright, engine 2 has been fully started. Make sure all these are stable. Then let's come over back by pressing 5 or looking down from the cockpit view. Turn on engine 1 master switch. Alright, pushback is complete. It should automatically center itself. And now make sure your parking brake is on. If you are on a steep airport, the plane will start rolling back and we don't want that. And now click on disconnect. Then close the dialog page. Now this should say pushback and bypass pin removed. Alright, now we wait for engine 1 to spool up. Alright, looks like all the engines are on and stable. Let's turn this back to norm. Then flaps down 1. Then click on this once. Come over here and come over here. APU bleed goes off. If your master switch comes off. And this should go off by itself. Now I'm gonna have to connect my joystick in order for us to go. Yeah. Alright, we are back. I have connected my joystick, well, it's in my mouse. Alright, so we're already done. Let me go ahead and set this to the init page, not perf page. Alright, so this will go off by itself like I said. Now let's go ahead and click on turn the taxi lights on. Nose light over to taxi. The rest of them remains off. Like I said, the TCAS, click it once. Set this flaps to 1. Parking brake, it should be set before we start. Let's go ahead and arm these. Not really much because it will ask you down here to arm. This is before takeoff. Before you take off, but let's not do that right now. Let's go ahead and taxi over to the runway. The parking brake comes off. Let's go ahead and set this over here and give us some throttle, and we should start taxiing. Now I would recommend to open the PHI. I will give a different tutorial on how to do that, but as for now, we're gonna have to follow this one. So let's quickly make sure I go taxiway. Now open it on here and press on maps in browser. It should open this page, which is can only open when the flight gear is on. Like I said, I'll show you how to set this up later in a different tutorial. Alright, so you come over here, make sure you scroll the way down, and you're going to 26 right. So you keep on going forward, keep on going, keep moving until we have to take turn, then we go past here, from here to here, then okay, back in the O, going a bit off course. Go ahead and put the engines to idle. Now, like I said, I'm not professional myself, so I may be doing things wrong that I might get yelled for. For example, taxiing on the end of a taxi line. Now I'm using a MacBook for this, so it has limited USB ports, so I might have to always be changing through in order for us to use the reverse thrust, which for some reason cannot be done through the use of the joystick. I am not sure how to set it up, but I know that right now I cannot use it. Alright, so we should be taking a left, just right next to the grass. Engines are idle. Make sure that's there. Let's go ahead and take a turn. And let's get there. Alright, now we have to taxi over. Now, just to be honest here, um, the plane's on idle thrust, but it's still moving. This might be just gravity doing its thing, but maybe I should give a report to the developers to see. I don't think it's a bug, maybe it's just natural, but it's up to you to decide that. Alright, there is runway 26 right, just to the left of us. Let's go ahead and stop here on the holding port 9. That was a bit aggressive. Now parking brake comes on. Now before takeoff checklist, let's go ahead and turn the auto brake. This is the auto brake panel. This is the auto brake panel. and then you come over the way down here. Make sure this is set. I've already said before. This one goes to armed. This one, that the landing light comes on. That nose light goes over to takeoff. Strobe light comes on. This one is not nothing serious. Only one that is dark. That's when these are the lightings. I'm not needing it right now. Let's go ahead and make sure we do everything. Come down here by pressing 4. When keyboard mode is off, press this a bit number of times because it doesn't seem to work when you don't press it well. There you go. Make sure you set your trim for takeoff. Let's scroll down a bit. And then we're ready. So let's go ahead and line up on the runway. Go ahead and give us a little bit of thrust. Now I'm using a joystick, the little rotating thing on my joystick. So basically it might be a bit rough for me to put this into climb. Let's go ahead and idle thrust. So at this point, let's say ATC gave us clearance to take off of runway 26, right? Now if you want, you can time yourself by starting the chrono down here, which will start right now. Then toggle. Put the throttle to max, or just press F on the keyboard. Now to enable thrust climb, you have to do Shift plus F in order to enable that. But let's get in the air before we do any more talking. Alright, we have taken off of the airport. Now there should be some green lines on the screen, but you will not be able to see it right now. Let's go ahead and take a turn. Not a bank. Let's go over here. Now you see, if you look closely, you will see green lines. Oops, forgot one thing. The TCAST. And yes, I am finding this manually. So you get it over here. Oh, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. Just the TCAST. What is going on? There we go. Alright, the plane should be turning. Already the beginning of the tutorial and everything's messed up. Now flaps up. That's the speed warning. Please go away. Please go away. Let's pull up a bit. Make it a bit steep for the engine to slow down. Now setting the thrust to climb, like I said. Go ahead and reduce your thrust if you're using a joystick. And so it says thrust climb. Or on the keyboard, do Shift F. Alright, now we should be climbing. That's why it's a very big mistake. Okay, still turn them. Those graphics are amazing. By the way, if you want to run graphics this high, you might want to check your computer specs, because this is insanely hard to run. Alright, now once we pass 6,000 feet, let's go ahead and set the barometric pressure to standard. Just press on the knob here, and it has been set. Like I said, you can see those green lines on the panel, so you can see those green lines. Alright, so at this point, you just make sure the plane is stable. Then go over to the panel here and click on APU and set it to your cruise altitude. But in real ATC, they will give you have a transition altitude. So let's go ahead and set it to our cruise that we set, and make sure we set our climb restriction. Let's come over down here to forward. Let's make sure we this on this. Come over here, it will say take off before you're taking off. So you're on climb. Now this is much complicated, so we'll get to that one just before our approach. So yeah, we're taking off, and enjoy the ride. Alright, once we pass 10,000 feet, let's go ahead and turn the landing lights off. Forget about this one because it really doesn't show when you're outside. Alright, so this will show up because we're almost climbing to our cruise. Alright, since you'll be getting to our cruise altitude very soon. Now, like I said, in the speed management mode, it will automatically, my goodness, I can't speak today. It will automatically set this to the speed restriction for that area. So if you're above 10,000, it will set it to 250 nautical. My goodness, mercy. It set it to 250 knots, the standard for the cruise, and it will set it to the right speed restriction. And as you see, if this is the same, if your cruising altitude or the altitude you're climbing to is the same as the one in here, flight level 150, this should say when you get to that flight level 150, it should say altitude cruise. That's the altitude you're cruising at right at this moment. Go back to Perth. So you're cruising, like I said, if you were doing an actual full flight. Go over here, and this is the announcement. You would say, you click on seatbelts off to tell them that you're on cruise, and they can now move around, but they should have the seatbelt on just in case. Now, if you want realism or being affected by the winds, that will be in a different tutorial, but let me just say it right now. That's how you're gonna do that, and then maybe some few days or so. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do those videos. Now back over here. Now, as some of you might have noticed, if you go ahead and go into the autopilot menu, it is disabled. This is such that you cannot use this. You cannot use this to do anything. It's all been converted onto the MCDU, so you have to use that. Technically, this is to make the realism high. So if you would want to start, I would have to ask you to watch this video or any video you think you may find it understandable. And yeah, let's keep on continuing the cruise. Now let's walk over some things. When you go into the map, like I said, the flight manager doesn't work, and the flight manager puts the flight plan in the map, and you can't see it on the map in the browser either. You only have to use this, like I said, for it brings about the realism. Alright, so if you were to press fix, you see that if you come down here, that waypoint is in. You can actually also enter these waypoints into the MCDU. You can enter them by yourself. Let's say you come over down here and you click on flight plan. You can click this and it will say this new waypoint, new destination. You can click, you can type in, let's say you want to go here, you can type this and save there. But if you'd want a if you this airways, this Boeing Airways over here does not work currently, it's still in development. Like I said, this aircraft is still in development, so there will be a lot of restricted areas that we can go into. This is the dim and brightness light, so you come over here to show you this, but we can't do anything. So let's go ahead. If you click on over here, it should show you the info, which is currently not allowed yet. When it's not allowed, it means not available. So if we just go to some of the buttons, it will say not available. Now let's go ahead and go to return. Now if you come over to a waypoint, click on here, it will say, if you type in your next waypoint, you come back, it will say insert, and it will say to add the waypoint you added and add flight plan discontinuous. Now, in order to remove that flight plan discontinuous, you click on clear and click on it, and click on insert after you're done. So if you're now at this waypoint, you're going over to this waypoint. Come on the map and see where that waypoint is. Over here, you're almost there. It continues to Lima November Yankee, which should be, I think, over here, around this area. Then continuous. Enable traffic just in case. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this away. Come over here, go to the top. Now with vehicles, like I said, this one should go to the down position. And yeah, so we're on cruise right now. It's best to keep monitoring this over and over, because there is no top of descent. There is no such thing as top of descent or top of climb. It's not implemented in this version yet, so we'll have to be patient for this. Alright, so let's go ahead and leave the aircraft to do its thing, fly us to destination safely, and we'll go on from there. Alright, we are back after a short break. So now it'll seem that we are almost on destination, about 60 miles out. So we wanna, since we're at a higher altitude, we're gonna start descending now to around 5,000 feet. Now to just make sure I've not lost, and if you're lost, there's this indicator right here that says 1,000 and 100. Now if you click just not this, just next to it, the black, click on it, it should change. If it's at 100, when you scroll, it should reduce or increase by 100. If you click over it, it'll go to 1,000. You can increase or decrease it by 1,000. Now let's go ahead and say we've already set this to 5,000. Let's go ahead and make sure when we're reducing our speed. What am I saying? When we are descending, we'll make sure we put it at our initial descent. Go ahead and turn on the anti-ice. This is depending on whether it's cold or there's a lot of clouds. Alright, so now we are on our descent. We're about to make our descent. Let's go ahead and go in the weather. Get the ATIS. So let's go ahead and begin our descent. 5,000 feet. Now let's use the middle mouse button. Click on this. Should change back. Now make sure it's the same. Don't let the plane descend on its own to our final destination. Now on the final destination, you have to make sure that you decrease these down, so it makes it better for you to know how close you are. 10 nautical miles out. Switch over to 20 miles out, so you know the distance between you and your final destination or a waypoint. Let's close this. Watch as we descend. Beautiful today in Hawaii. Now there will be more features that might come to the Airbus A320 in the future. Updates coming out every time. Gotta mention this one is for the light, or just press L on your keyboard. Now we choose to. Now you see these lines around here. This shows here. When you reduce it to 40, whatever is in this radius, in this diameter, whatever is in this radius, let me just call it that, will pop up when you reduce it. So let's say we go back to down 40, wait for it, then reduce it down. Then this is the radius for the 40. We are almost to our point. Let's make sure we get in the ILS. This location we are at has ILS. Let's make sure we enable that and click on data. Now this should pop up right here. This is the most important data, the one below. If you can go down here, quickly switch down here, and we can enter it here by ourselves. Let's go ahead and 150. Now, like I said, if you go to flight plan and it's already been selected for you, it should enter it automatically down here. So if you wanna know whether it's enabled or not, once you get closer to the airport or get closer to the ILS, it should turn blue. Now press on this, remove the data of what you're seeing. Make sure we check our altitude. Alright, let's begin a bit of a down descent. Now if you come down here and you click on pref, it should say descent. That means you're descending, and this is the activate approach phase. Now click on next. It should take you over here to the approach phase, and now we're not using the Q and H. Let's go here to the barrel, which is 2997. Put it in here. The radio, I was not sure about this before, but let's go ahead and put in what we know. 09.7. Should round it up, I guess. Oh, okay, alright. Let's quickly put the barrel back in there. I'll leave the radio for now. Put the barrel in. If you don't know this, let's go ahead and go to environment, go to weather, go to airport description, 15 degrees Celsius. Let's go ahead and type 15. The winds are, click on this. It should show you the winds up here. So you 3, 2, 9. This is in my way. 3 to 9 plus 0. Okay. This may take a while. 3, 2, 9 slash 0, 9, or just 9. Put it here. Transition altitude. Let's set it to be 4,000. Fast full config. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to previous and go to 1. Now, like I said, we're going into clouds. Let's hope it is not cloudy. Alright, now let's go here. Now you see here, since we're getting closer and we have already put the atlas in, it should turn blue. It should turn blue. Alright, we're making our descent into. Alright, we're making our smooth descent. Let's go ahead and check from the tower view how this is looking. I do not even like this already. Oh. Let's just hope it's not raining at our destination airport. Okay, now we are getting close. Let's go ahead and descend to 2000. Let's not make it a sharp one. Let's go ahead and increase our descent rate to not miss our course. We're already 2000. Oh, once you pass down from 10,000, let's go ahead and turn on landing lights to on. This one should stay on because it seems to be raining and we're passing through clouds. Turn on the water to see what's going on. Now let me just explain this before it gets complicated. This is to turn on the terrain radar. The terrain radar seems to have been implemented, so just to turn it on. And we come down here to turn the weather forecast system. The rest of these are not operational, not yet, at least. Right. Just before we get down. Oh, that is not looking good. That is not looking good. Okay, alright, so in order to turn on the weather forecast on my screen, I have to turn. Oh, okay. Some pretty nasty weather. No worries, right? We might survive. Alright, looks like we're coming on our. Oh, this is really bad. Really, this is really bad. Please tell me we will at least make it through without having to crash. Please. Guess we're gonna rely on instruments now. Oh, it's a bit of red here. That's kind of bad. Depending on what the color is, that's the weather condition. If it's red, you might want to avoid that area. But since this is not a professional flying channel, this might turn out badly. Alright, we're at 4,000. Oh, okay, alright, I've seen some breaking through. Oh, this is not what I planned for. Well, as you guys can see, it's raining. Oh, what's this? Let's go ahead and stable ourselves at theta. Yeah! Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. I'm gonna turn some things IRL. Alright, That's the altitude. Oh my goodness. Alright, now we're gonna make our right turn. Now once we're on our right turn, if you open your map, you would see that once we get in range of this, we will be able to turn on our we'll be able to turn off our localizer. Now since we might be going off, let's go ahead and press the middle mouse button, which should set us on. Let's go ahead and set it to 5 because we want to go inside of the. This might turn. Oh, this is bad. Conditions look worse. You can't see a thing. Well, this might be the hardest line I've ever attempted. Alright, so once we're in, click on this button right here that says localizer. So once it gets into the range of the localizer, it should hopefully intercept. There we go. Once it intercepts, it should capture the glide slope. There's the glide slope. I meant localizer. Sorry about that. Localizer, and we're already on flat. This should be up. Yep. Now let's go ahead and start reducing our speed. Let's go ahead and turn the LS on so that we don't miss the. What's going on? Oh, okay. I understand where this is going. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this over to 5 and reduce down 500 feet per minute. So now let's go ahead and flaps down 1. Now I'm gonna put on some speed brakes so to slow down to get to not 100 above. 100 above? Hey. 100 above what? How low are we right now? I am not having this. Hey, what is that? Oh, this is really bad. 1, 2. Flaps full. Make sure we don't overdo this. I am not. This was definitely not planned. Well, this is what happens. Okay, now let's put the flaps up because it might cause us a bit of problem. Let's go flaps full. Sure, flaps already full. Let's go ahead. Oh, this is really bad. Um, Alright, so when this comes, when it gets to just right over here, you can go ahead and press the approach. Let's go and come to 6. Press the approach button right here. Just right about here and press this, and it should capture the glide slope. Now, like I said, this is an unexpected situation, so you might have to do some other things. Okay. Alright, landing gear comes down because we're not following procedures no more now. But at least we can follow some things. So flaps full, landing gear is down, landing lights are on, spoilers come on, speed auto brakes go to medium. This is really bad. I might have to make the plane land this. Oh, this is really bad. Alright, from this point onward, we're disconnecting the mouse. Like I said, I am not using a joystick. I'm not using for the reverse thrust, so we have to use our keyboard. But now to do that, we gotta remove our mouse. Now I'm using cable. If you're using wireless, it's nothing. But I'm just doing this to prevent us from getting any further. Now, Planes have to go to land us because this is not going to work. We cannot see conditions. Visibility is 0. This is one unexpected. Well, this turned out to be the worst of episodes, didn't it? Now I'd like you guys to go over and check over my other channel, which is cpt.jackson. Check out the videos I posted there. Oh, we might be able to land this. We might be able to land this. Okay, this seems promising. I can't see though. So that's our one major problem. Aircrafts, whatever you do not crash this. My God, oh yeah, we can see something. Need the runway to be visual. Yep, the plane have to land this. And please, plane, do not mess up. If you mess up, do you know what is going to happen to us? We are going to die. Please, plane. Alright, we're about to land. Landing checklist. Let's go ahead and say it again. Flaps on 3 green. Flaps down. Landing gears down 3 green. Landing lights are on. Oh, there we go. You can see runway. Taking over. This might be a bad landing. Please don't judge me.
300.
Oh, this
200.
is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea. Oh my God, this is a really bad idea. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't. Oh my God, that's quite a descent. Oh Jesus, mercy,
50,
mercy, mercy,
30,
mercy. Just idle.
20.
Flare, 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 flare,
Five.
flare, flare. Okay, acceptable landing. Versus out. Versus key is the key on the keyboard. Oh my God. Oh, if we manage to survive this, I don't know how. I don't know how. Oh my. I can't turn the plane. I cannot turn the plane. I cannot turn the plane. Oh my God. Like I said, the plane's moving backwards. Parking brake on. This is an emergency, so please don't use the parking brake when you're on the runway. Let's go ahead and put the flaps up. Let's pretend to see if we actually landed the thing and we're taxiing off the runway. Let's go ahead and add a bit of thrust. Disconnect. Now, if you want this thing down here to disappear, just click here. And it should disappear. What is going on? What's is it in reverse? Oh, this is bad. You for real? Oh, this has been the worst tutorial. Don't worry, I'll make a new one. The next update. There we go. That should solve the problem. Alright. But that's all the problem. Oh my goodness, it is raining heavily. Wipers don't work. That's just great. Turn the wings off. Engines and ice comes on, stays on. Gotta give it a little more trust just to get it off from being. There we go, there we go, there we go. And give you a warning. That was by accident. That sound is really annoying. Like literally, we are not. Alright, let's go ahead and say we've landed and we just. What's going to complete, so let's go ahead and turn the landing lights on, please cut down to taxi, and then turn on the master switch. My goodness, I don't want to be. If I become a pilot, I don't want to be flying this kind of conditions because I nearly killed people. The plane wasn't even turning. I don't even think I want to do this. Unexpected weather, unexpected things. I definitely should be. Probably should check before doing anything else. Oh, let's go and park at a random location. Should be a parking spot. Okay, idle. Come outside. Oh, there you go. It's a parking. Oh, this is not what was supposed to happen. Let's park here random parking because we have broken the wheels. Let's come over here. Okay. How can this? Alright, so nose light comes off. Strobe and beacon light comes off. Let's clearly turning off all of these. Let's go ahead and turn off these. Okay, turn off these. Turn off these and put this to start. Now, one thing you should note is that make sure this comes on to avail and press the APU bleed before attempting to press this. Do not, I repeat, do this before putting on the APU. Like I said, press the master switch on and you come look down here, displays flap open, then you come back up and press the start switch. Oh my goodness. I mean, these rain effects are amazing. The app they really did not burn this thing. Wow. Just go ahead and wait for this thing to spool up. Now you can follow checklists. Open help checklist. But I don't really like doing this one. So let's go parking. So parking, let's go ahead and say APU, like I said, APU bleed on. Then in 1 and 2 come off. 1 and 2 come off. They go off. Alright, let's go ahead and get the seatbelt signs off. Let's looking at seatbelts on this. Take this one off. Fuel pumps off. Come over the top here. Fuel pumps off. Parking brake and choke as required. So come over here, go to ground services. You can do what you normally do. This is not called a baggage. Let's just perform the realism. No, you know what? No. You're not gonna move that thing. Just bring these things with a cover of them and connect these ones. Should do it. Securing. Alright. Successful landing. Drifted off of the runway. Come out here, look at this. Well, she parked. Oh my. I don't think we're gonna have a nice day today. Okay, let's go ahead and open the door. This is not necessary, you know. Like I said, realism's sake. And I'm not doing realism all the way today. And turn the T-cast off. If you want to have a good view, come over here, come down. Make sure T-cast is off. Next, probably we might look at VATSIM, but I don't think so, but because I can't do the video and I'm out of focus. Alright, so everything is done. Let's go ahead and reduce this. Turn these ones down. Alright, so we've done it. We've landed. This should reset since we've already landed and we've completed the flight. So see this, and then when we secure the aircraft, you can just turn these ones off, and this should appear, and then turn out this one, turn out the exit lights, shit's off, signs are also off. Let me come over here and make sure I'm not done anything else. Yeah. So APU, let's go ahead and connect this. APU comes off, and batteries will come off. Just a second. Let's just wait for the APU to turn off. Let's go to APU page. No, that's engine page. Bruh, there you go. This normally happens. It won't go off automatically, not just yet. Give some time, then go off by itself. Like I said, we're following the checklist. So after it goes off, then you turn off the battery up here, and you are finished a 1 hour flight. Sorry about that, guys. It seems that I did not pause. The one mistake we do. Anyway, like I said, we're about to finish this. All right, so yeah, there you go. The APU is now shutting down. Once it completely shuts down, which we have to give it a minute here. Oh, forgot to start the chrono. So once the APU has reached 0 and has finally shut down, we can go ahead and call it a day. Alright. Flight open message has disappeared to... Dang, this gets... Look over here. One... And there we go. Let's go ahead and turn off the batteries, and we've finished our securing the aircraft checklist. So before we end all of this, make sure everything's off and turn it off. So ladies and gentlemen, that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Go and check out my new channel on cpt.jackson. There's some flight gear videos there. That's a new channel I'm starting up. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's enjoy the replay.
Replay active. Desk to start.
Alright, enjoy the replay.
Desk to start. CTRLR to show replay controls. Replay active. Desk to start. CTRLR to show replay controls. Replay start. Your controls.
Again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.